CEO Bob over there in his ivory tower. He dictates that the product needs feature A or feature B, and they don't do any user research at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess why wouldn't they be is the question. We thought, what the hell?
Doesn't it make you angry? Sure does make me angry.
And we went through the roof about this, and it's pissing us off. That we don't need to do.
UX and product folks put Steve Jobs on a pedestal. So let's hear his take on technology and user experience. And also, let's hear what Steve has to say about the future of AI. Let's jump right in. Okay, let's talk about technology a little bit. This is right in your wheelhouse.
I know little about this stuff. Technically, this is not my area of expertise.
Oh, I think a lot of the world thinks of you as a pioneer in the computer era, like some demigod who created the computer, or the mouse, or the internet, or the search engine.
We didn't go into the search business. No, we have no plans to go into the search business. That's not something we know about. It's not something we care deeply about. Other people do it well. See, what's hard for people to remember, and this is good, I think, is go back to pre-iPhone, only 3 years ago. RIM is number 2, we're number 3, Google's number 4, and other is number 5. That's where it is right now.
All right, I get it. You want to stay out of the search arena. That market is already covered pretty well. Steve, there's so much talk about AI these days. You know, artificial intelligence. You've probably heard of tools like ChatGPT, DALL-E, Copilot.
They're in the AI area. Yeah, we like what they do a lot.
Okay, so it sounds like you think all of this AI stuff happening right now is a good thing.
People laugh at me because I have used the phrase magical to describe the iPad, but it's what I really think. And there's something magical about it.
Sure, there's probably some truth to that. Okay, Steve, so what if I said to you, I'm going to have AI create a new Beatles song? Actually, this is kind of already happening. People are generating new music from old samples using AI tools. What do you think about that?
I like the Beatles.
Yeah, I know you're a Beatles fan. I am too. What would you do if you came across an AI-generated Beatles song?
So I understand that's a problem for some people. Probably I would just turn up the volume on it.
So, Steve Jobs is all in for music being generated with AI. No need for artists or musicians to make original music. We can all just sit back, type in a few prompts, and let AI do the creative work. I'm not sure I agree with this approach, Steve, but you're entitled to your opinion.
No, see, our goal is really easy. This is America. And you know what? They're paying us to make those choices. We want to make a better product than they do, and we do. So that's what we're about. We're about making better products. And what I love about the consumer market that I always hated about the enterprise market is that we come up with a product, we try to tell everybody about it, and every person votes for themselves. So I think that is changing a lot in the next 24 months.
What do you mean you think the AI market is going to change?
There's going to have been for the last 2 or 3 years, and every 6 months it gets updated. So I'm sure that eventually they will.
Of course. Technology is always changing. That's Moore's law, right? Now, the technology mentioned in that law, it's a little bit dated and specific, but the idea, it still stands today that the computer speed doubles every 18 months, or in this case, technology changes and huge advancements are being made.
Yeah, it's complicated. The market right now is such that it is set up to be far more responsive to consumer demand for what the prices need to be than it was 6 months ago. Way more responsive. So we may see prices go up a little bit, but if consumers want the prices to be less, they will be far more responsive to those signals than they were going to be.
So you're saying that you predict that people who want to use AI tools are going to have to pay for that?
So it's not an insignificant player in this as well.
Yeah, well, I guess making a profit on AI is the elephant in the room.
So they are desperately grasping at anything they can to try to keep that from happening. Can't blame them.
Are they though? Come on. You know these companies are all about making a profit on this stuff. Silicon Valley is all about the money.
No, Silicon Valley's not monolithic.
And
It's some intermediate thing has been removed and stripped away. Like that Claritin commercial where they strip away the film. It's like that. Is it the direct action? Is it the fact that you can move it all around? Is it the fact that you have no cables and 10-hour battery life? I don't know. It's all these things plus other things which I don't understand yet. But there's something about it that's magical. And
so, what do you think the general public should be prepared for when it comes to AI?
if you're willing to spend a bunch of money, they're doing pretty well, actually, in some ways, and they have some work to do in other ways. Time takes care of lots of this stuff.
All right, so we've talked a lot about technology, Steve, but Apple is known for creating great user experience. What do you think of a customer first mindset and a great user experience?
How do we curate this? It's a bunch of people, just like you and me, coming into work and doing their best every day.
Sure, that's a pretty humble mindset, but Apple does have a reputation for pioneering user experience a bit.
There's no excuse for them not asking the customer.
Sounds like you're a big fan of user research. I am also a huge fan of conducting research with users. Obviously,
We like what they do a lot. It's brilliant. The best ideas have to win. So otherwise, good people don't stay. And it's worked out very well. So we were able to change the rules of those games in the game. And that drove everything.
yeah, Steve, but not every company does user research. You know that many companies let executives call the shots. CEO Bob over there in his ivory tower, he dictates that the product needs feature A or feature B, and they don't do any user research at all. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess why wouldn't they be is the question. We thought, what the hell?
Doesn't it make you angry? Sure does make me angry.
And we went through the roof about this, and it's pissing us off. That we don't need to do. So, and if we don't want to do them, we try to persuade, but if we fail at persuasion, then we have a simple choice.
It's so frustrating when product folks or executives or whoever it is, when they don't listen to user research. They just make these decisions from an uninformed ivory tower with no data to direct these decisions.
Yes, I understand, and I feel your pain.
Let's wrap up with talking about the future. What do you think, Steve, the future might bring?
I'm trying to think of a good analogy. When we were an agrarian nation, all cars were trucks, because that's what you needed on the farm. But as vehicles started to be used in the urban centers, and America started to move into those urban and then suburban centers, cars got more popular, and innovations like automatic transmission and power steering and things that you didn't care about in a truck as much started to become paramount in cars. And now, probably, I don't know what the statistics are, maybe 1 out of every 25 vehicles, 30 vehicles is a truck, where it used to be 100%. PCs are going to be like trucks. They're still going to be around. They're still going to have a lot of value, but they're going to be used by 1 out of X people. Okay. Is that clear?
Yeah, I think so. Do you have any parting words for the world today, Steve?
I got a lot of advice from people that said, you've got to just let it slide. And it's not on the horizon. Horizon implies a finite.
Right.
We found a really interesting thing. We're real naive about this stuff because the last few years have reminded me that life is fragile. So,
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Steve, for your time. If you have enjoyed what's been happening on Blatz Chat and you want to see more mock interviews like this one with Steve Jobs, let me know what you'd like in the comments below.